What's shaking, trainers? Angel of the Night here. We are back again with another viewer battle. And the battler here today is MarkZardWorld. Now this battle originally took place on August 24th of 2024. And of course he was our second battler of the night. Now the match today looks like he's going to lead off with a Sneasler and a Metagross. And of course I'm going to lead off here with the Amoonguss and the Tauros. Now, of course, we do have the Intimidate ability, which is not going to affect the Metagross due to the clear body, but we are going to lower the attack stat of the Sneasler. So, with that being said, Sneasler is a Pokemon that I normally don't see a whole lot of. I've heard a lot of things about it, but never really seen one really do much in a battle. And of course, I come from an era of Wi-Fi battlers where Metagross didn't really do much as a lead back in the day, so I'm not really sure what to expect at this time in the match from the Metagross. However, we all have Terra types, we can all do different attacks and different abilities at this time. Kind of like my Palday and Combat Tauros going in for a Terra Ghost at some point, but we'll talk about that later when that comes up. So if you take a look here, Metagross actually ends up going in for the Terra Fire. And I'm going to be honest with you, this actually threw me completely for a loop. I didn't really know what to expect from this thing, and I also didn't think it would go for the attack that it's going to. I end up going in for the Rage Powder here. Of course, that's not going to really do much, except for like attract attacks into the Amoonguss, basically saving my Palday and Tauros the ability to set up. The Sneasler went in for the coaching there, and of course that raises up some stats onto the Metagross, which kind of also makes me curious as to what it's going to do. We get the Curse, that's going to raise up my attack and my defense and lower my speed. And then of course in comes the Terra Blast. Now if you guys remember, this is a Terra Fire Metagross right now, so it's a pure fire type. And of course it's now redirected into my Amoonguss, so unfortunately for me, we are only able to get one Curse set up onto Tauros at this time before Amoonguss actually fainted. Now of course Amoonguss does have the Terra Water. Realistically I could have gone for the Terra Water here if I had known that it was going to be a Terra Fire Metagross. But that's besides the point. So anyways, we bring in our Rotom Wash, and of course we are going to go in for the Terra Blast onto the Sneasler while we try to get a Hydro Pump off onto this Metagross. You know, try to put those flames out on those candles and send Metagross back to the party. So here we go, we're going to go in for the Terra Ghost here with our Tauros. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, this is one spooky bull Pokemon. Definitely sends chills right down my spine every time I see it. And you know what, I'm going to be honest, I'm very proud of that Tauros. Probably one of the coolest sets that I've ever come up with. Metagross has gone in for the Protect there, and of course Sneasler has gone in for the Acrobatics. Now of course Acrobatics isn't going to be able to do very much onto the Tauros there because we are now Terra Ghost. And of course we've also got a Curse, which is basically like a bulk up. So Hydro Pump misses because it can't hit the protected Pokemon, and we go in for the Terra Blast here, which is a Ghost type move onto the Sneasler, taking it right down to its Focus Sash. Now of course we're kind of debating here, are we going to go Hydro Pump or Thunderbolt? We actually ended up locking into Thunderbolt into the Sneasler, and then of course we were also going to go in for the Terra Blast into the Metagross, kind of hoping that we're going to be able to do some damage off onto the Metagross here. However, it's no longer that Psychic type. So I'm not really sure what Terra Ghost is going to be able to do to this Metagross at this time. As you guys can see, the attack and the defense keeps getting risen by the coaching from the Sneasler. And then of course the Thunderbolt is able to pick up the KO finally off onto the Sneasler, sending that thing back to MarkZardWorld's party. Here comes in the Psychic Fangs from the Metagross, and of course Rotom is barely holding on. And we're going to go in for that Terra Blast here now, which is, of course, Terra Ghost. And should be getting some decent amount of chunk of damage off onto that Metagross, but unfortunately, it has too many of the defensive boosts at this time to really make a big difference. Rotom is going in, getting the leftovers here, getting a little bit of health back, and of course, our Tauros is patiently waiting by to basically see what Pokemon's going to come in next. So in comes Rillaboom. Now of course Rillaboom is going to set up the Grassy Surge, and with that being said, that's going to allow him to do an attack called Grassy Glide. Now I didn't really want to waste Rotom here, so I'm kind of debating on swapping it out to Arcanine, and then of course we're also going to be trying to set up an attack with the Tauros. So as you can see here, we're swapping out the Rotom here, bringing in the Arcanine. Now of course Arcanine does have the Intimidate ability, So that's actually going to lower the attack stat of the Rillaboom. But of course, clear body with Metagross, it's not effective. Can't do anything there. As you can see, I predicted correctly. Rillaboom went for the Grassy Glide. Not really going to be able to do very much. And of course, Metagross is going in for the Terra Blast here, which is a fire-type move. Tauros is holding on strong. Here we go with the Curse attack. Now, of course, when you are a Ghost-type Pokemon, or in the Ghost typing, Curse works a little bit differently. So that actually puts an Ancient Curse onto Metagross, which is going to cause Metagross to lose HP almost every turn. Okay, you can see here that the grassy terrain is raising up some stats there in the HP for all Pokemon onto the field. And of course, Metagross does have its leftovers. So here we go with the Curse. Curse, I thought, was going to be able to do a little more damage than that, but this thing must have some serious HP stats, so it's not really going to do a whole lot. Rotom coming back onto the field, of course, it is vulnerable to the Rillaboom, and we do also have Arcanine still here, capable of going for the Flare Blitz. So I'm pretty much determined to go for the Flare Blitz to the Rillaboom, and as well, I also went in and selected, I believe, Confuse Ray or Thunder Wave for the Metagross. Now, I have a couple of different Rotoms here, and I'll be honest with you, I definitely go for those Confuse Rays and those Thunder Waves. That is kind of how I play. The Hax Gods are usually in my favor. I always get freezes and burns and stuff like that when you absolutely need them. Unfortunately, we do not get that attack off, and our Rotom goes down. We get the Flare Blitz off onto the Rillaboom, and of course here comes the Psychic Fangs into the Arcanine, picking up the KO. So good game there, MarkZardWorld. I hope you had a blast, and I hope you guys enjoy his channel as well. Take care, have a good one, and peace out.